It's very important to make a visit here at this time to meet with the PEPFAR coordinator and with the UNAIDS committee. What we are trying to do is make a strong linkage between the three priority initiatives of the United States government: PEPFAR, the Global Health Initiative, and Feed the Future, the Food Security Initiative. And the link, or the clearest link, among all of these initiatives is the role of women. Women take the lead as farmers. Women are the overseers of nutrition for their families and children, and they are victims as well as healthcare providers in HIV/AIDS situations. So if the three initiatives can work together to expand and improve the role of women, I think we have a chance of beginning to address all three of these initiatives at the same time.
I was going to say, we got a little confused about you were the head of
Please take your seats. Can we have silence so that we can start the morning session? I would now like to invite Ambassador William Garvelink, Assistant to the Administrative Bureau for Food Security, USAID, and Deputy Coordinator for Development of Feed the Future, to address the board. Ambassador Garvelink is a 30-year veteran of USAID who most recently served as US Ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Feed the Future is a $3.5 billion initiative aimed at addressing the needs of small-scale farmers and agribusinesses and harnessing the power of women to drive economic growth. Ambassador Garvelink was invited to address us today because to provide food and nutrition security for people living with HIV, we need to link HIV programs to the broader development agenda. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to be here today to discuss the inescapable links between food security, nutrition, and HIV/AIDS, three of the top development priorities of the United States government. Our major presidential initiatives. There was a meeting a year ago by the G8 in L'Aquila in Italy, and there were pledges made to take this very seriously and provide serious resources. President Obama announced $3.5 billion over the next 3 years, and that's not counting existing programs. That's 3.5 billion additional resources. And this past year for 2010, we had 888 million. So we have a good start on spending the $3.5 billion announced in the initiative. So things have changed rather dramatically. And just a little bit about the initiative itself. Agricultural researchers will tell you that if you want to, most of the hungry people in the world live in rural areas. And about 500 million of the billion are small farmers. And the majority of them are in Africa and South Asia. And specialists in that area say if you want to increase productivity and food security in these poor areas, the way to focus on it and to do it is to focus on small farmers. They will increase the productivity in the rural areas. That's the fastest way to do it. And if you're focused on small farmers, by definition, you're focused on women. In Africa, 80% of the small farmers are women. And depending on the crop that you look at, that number is higher. And 60% in South Asia are women. And again, depending on the crop you look at, that number goes up. So our initiative is focused on small farmers, and we're primarily focused on Africa, South Asia, also Latin America. So we are very much focused on gender issues, the relationship between men and women and rural. Well, I think we accomplished a number of things in the past couple of days in Geneva, and it was highly successful. First of all, we established a very close link with the UNAIDS program and the linkages between Feed the Future, nutrition, and how we can work together to address the HIV/AIDS problem, particularly in smallholder agriculture in Africa and South Asia. We also had a number of meetings with donors, with other UN agencies, and with countries that we're working with in Latin America and Asia and in Africa, and we continued our dialogue about the next steps in each of those countries about how we would address their food and nutrition issue. So if you put that all together, it was a very successful day and a half. The reaction has been very positive from other donors, from think tanks, from UN agencies, from the countries themselves. It has all been a general very positive reaction, particularly the linking of smallholder agriculture, gender, nutrition, research in the private sector. That combination has generated a considerable amount of enthusiasm within the international community. Up to this point in time, the cooperation has been very good. But also up till now, it's been a lot of discussion and planning. Now we're getting down to actually implementing programs in countries, and the cooperation not only in capitals and in places like Geneva, but on the ground in the countries themselves with our USAID missions and country teams, and the representatives from these other governments are working very closely together in the countries as well.